Hi guys, I'm doing my makeup today. So first I'm starting off with the e.l.f. gripping primer and then I'm just patting it in. As you can see, very tacky. Now I'm just going to be going in and doing my eyebrows. I'm using the Revolution Soap Brow, I believe. And this is normally when I do anything, like if you fill in your eyebrows. Mine are just very dark, so I don't. And then I go in with the concealer. This one is a little bit lighter than my regular shade, and I go in with a very flat brush. Essentially what I do is just underline my eyebrows. I just go in and I mark the bottom. I draw a line straight across and then make sure to blend in the middle part so that it doesn't leave like a unibrow. Now I just go in with a very fluffy brush and I'm just blending in the concealer. So I just use it and I go in and I blend underneath my eyebrows, trying to blend out the concealer so it's not a harsh line. Step 5, now I'm just going in with my foundation. I like to use the Makeup by Mario and the Fit Me Maybelline. I'm shade 128 in the Fit Me and 6W in the Makeup by Mario. And with the foundation, I go in with a small brush and I basically paint on the foundation, going in everywhere in just like a face mask, essentially. And for my eyebrows, I like to just clean up the ends of them with the same foundation, as you can see. With foundation, I don't like to go underneath my eyes just because the concealer is going to go there and I don't want the makeup to look cakey. And for the top of my eyebrows, I like to just slowly blend it in so that way there's no harsh lines. Now I'm just going in with some setting spray and I'm spraying that all over right before I blend everything in. And I'm just using a fluffy, dense brush and I'm just tapping all the products in. You can go in with a beauty blender, whatever you like, but I just prefer brushes. Now I'm just going in with the NYX, I think it's called the Wonder Stick, and I'm going in with the bronzing shade, and you can sort of see like the placements that I do. This is what works for me, but also I know everyone likes to like contour their nose differently, so you can experiment, try different things, see what you like. As you can tell, I like to use brushes, so I just used a fluffy angled brush for this part, and I'm just blending in all of my products. For my nose, I like to use an angled fluffy brush, and I just go in and basically I'm going in the same direction where I placed all of my bronzer. So I like to go down the bridge of my nose and then sort of like a circle on the bottom. Now I just use the e.l.f. Camo Blush. I believe it's called like the Berry shade. And I put this on the back of my hand just because it's very pigmented. And then I just use a fluffy brush to pick up the product and place it. I feel like you can probably tell by now, but I like to go in with all of my cream products first. That's why I use cream bronzer, liquid blush, all of that stuff before I'm setting my face. I like to go in with two different concealers. One of them is my shade, so that's the Hourglass. I believe it's in vanilla or oat, one of those. And I just go in with the same small brush from earlier, and I'm basically placing everything exactly where I want it to be. I use the same concealer to clean up my nose contour. You can't really see it that good right now, but you can sort of see it better on this side. I just like to clean up the products. And I like to make sure I'm just keeping everything very concentrated to where I want it to be. I don't like to just sort of place it on my face. I want to keep it just in the places I want it. The lighting gets a little better here because I use my flashlight, so you can sort of see the placement of everything. And then I'm just going in with a small dense brush and I'm blending all of the product, again trying to keep it where I placed everything, just tapping the product into my face. Now I'm just using that lighter concealer, the same one from my eyebrows, and I'm just placing a tiny bit into like the inner corners. That way it's just giving a little of a brightening effect. Now if you want a very matte doll-like finish, I love the One Size powder, and what I found works best for me is just getting a dense brush and lightly tapping some powder into my face before I go in with the powder puff. As you can see, I'm just sort of tapping it everywhere, making sure that it's just a nice little layer before I go in. And now I take a powder puff, and I just like to grab some of that same powder, and before I set everything, I just go in and make sure everything is blended out, especially underneath my eyes where there tends to be some creasing. Yeah, I just go in and I do my under eyes first because I feel like that's the part that just creases fast. So I just go in, set all of that. And then I just go in and I set the rest of my face. I really like to just go a little crazy with the powder. I'm just making sure that everything's staying in place and everything's set. Now I just go in with the Physicians Formula Bronzer. Don't ask me the shade, I don't know. And I go in with the same angled brush from earlier, just a fluffy brush, and I'm placing it just the same places that I put my bronzer from earlier. You can sort of eyeball this, but it's just sort of to your taste of how bronzed you want to look. I just feel like it brings some life, some color back into me. For my nose, I use this random NARS powder that I have. I go in with the same angled brush from earlier, and following the same movements, like I just go down the bridge of my nose and I create the same sort of circle that I had from earlier. Now I just go with this blush. I don't have a regular powder brush, but I have this eyeshadow that I think is super pretty and works really good as blush. Now I just go in with the same setting powder, the one size, and I go back in basically baking for my nose contour. You don't have to do this, but I like to just sort of clean up a little bit for the bottoms of my cheeks, like where the bronzer and blush is. Okay, base, look at that, very smooth, very flawless. Now, if you don't have any, you don't have to do this. I like to just go back in and sort of make a dot where my mole is. I just use like an eyebrow pen. It's like a brown color, so it looks very natural. It looks like, you know, my mole. Now I just go in with the same fluffy brush and swipe off all of the fake that I had, trying not to move too much. And then I set everything in place using the same Urban Decay spray. Now I do my lips. This is a Wet n Wild. I think it's like a berry or wine is a shade. And I'm just basically lining my lips. And now I'm using the NYX Duck Plump lip gloss, I believe. I'm running out of it, so ignore that. But I just put that on, blend in my lip liner with it. My mascara of choice is going to be the Clinique mascara. I think it just works really good. It's literally like a travel size. I didn't feel like applying lashes for the video, so this is normally the part where you would put them on, and that's everything. This is my full face of makeup. I hope you enjoy. Hope it turns out just as good.